Ladies and gents, welcome to the Tommy channel on this Spotlight guide. Now, I need to reset up the StreamElements multi-streaming plugin. So I thought I would take the opportunity just to record the process for setting it up for Rumble. And in doing so, hopefully that's going to help you think about some of the other sites that you might want to multi-stream to, because the add-on is very, very good. It allows for what is probably one of the best functions I've ever seen in a streaming application, and that is a different overlay dependent on the platform. So in the center, obviously you can see my Spotlight guide. That is the normal OBS window. So that is normally what your main OBS then sends out to YouTube, Twitch, Kick, whatever site that you're streaming to. That is usually it. If you use the Atom vertical streaming app, you can also create a vertical layout. But for me, I want to also duplicate overlays for the desktop side. So Twitch, Rumble, Kick, Twitter, you name it. And the StreamElements Live recently came out with the latest updates, and one of the things that you can do is set up a different canvas for each. Now, I've already, obviously on the left hand side you can see my canvas for Twitch, so it's slightly different layouts, slightly different in colors, things are in slightly different places, but you get the gist. Now, I've also got in the docs menu, I've got my Kick one. So if I open up Kick, you'll see the layout's completely different. Things are flipped over to different sides, and it's got a bit more feel and a bit more branding associated with the platform. So this is the Kick one, and I've also got the Twitter one as well. So let's go for Twitter. Nice colors, bright pops, and I can see the same pretty much 5 scenes which I use mainly within OBS. I can see those in each of these. So I've got my title, my stream starting, I've got my live scenes, and I've got my intermissions and outros. So what I'm going to do, I need to set up a Rumble. And as soon as I'm setting up Rumble, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close down the ones that I don't need. And we're going to add a new overlay for Rumble. Now, down in the StreamElements plugin, I don't actually have Rumble currently connected. It does give you options to add Twitch, YouTube, Kick, TikTok, Twitter as standard, but it doesn't have Rumble at this stage. So I'm going to add a custom RTMP. I'm going to jump into Rumble, which I need to do anyway, and get onto Rumble Live Studio. So let me pull this across so you can see what's going on. I've already got a stream currently set up for YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into YouTube and I'm going to copy and paste. So I'm not reinventing the wheel. I don't see the point. But I'm going to copy and paste the stuff from YouTube into Rumble. Now, YouTube is my primary platform for streaming, but I do stream on all of the various different sites. So up the top here, where it's got want to help me reach 2K subs, I'm just going to delete that because obviously that's pointing to YouTube, and that to me is kind of like a bit rude. You go onto Rumble and try and send people across to YouTube, so I'll get rid of that. And I'll also get rid of the mobile view. We've got YouTube for Smoo, YouTube for Mirden, who I play with quite often. Then I've got my affiliate links. Everything else is fine. I'm going to stream to both Rumble and locals. They are connected. And I'm just going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to go into gaming. Let's select Final Fantasy XIV. Online, pick a time. What time are we streaming? 8 o'clock tonight. More. And source pass-through. Next. Wait for that to create, and then we're going to bounce in and we're going to get a little bit of detail from Rumble Studio. So I have done a guide on how to connect OBS to Rumble Studio, but just in case you want to do that yourself, first thing I do is I always select presentation mode, and down the bottom where you've got manage participants, click that and go to ingresses. Ingresses is how we send OBS data across to Rumble Studio. Select RTMP, and I'm going to give it a name. Can be anything, but I'm going to say OBS. It's going to give you a URL and a key. And they're the key bits of information that you want to pull into the StreamElements plugin. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's the StreamElements plugin, it doesn't matter if it's Atom's multi-streaming, you're going to have to do exactly the same thing. So I've copied the URL, I'm going to copy the stream key and add the custom output. Once it disappears off there, bottom right hand side of this window, you'll see that it's now got a link for Rumble, but it currently says the default canvas. Now the default canvas is completely blank. So what I want to do is I'm going to just dock this back over here for a second, and I'm going to hit the three little dots, and this is where we're going to create a new canvas. So when you hover over the canvas, you can see the other ones that I've created: Twitch, Twitter, Kick. I'm going to create new, and I like to keep the names consistent throughout all. So this one is going to be Rumble horizontal and then 1080p, because we're going to be streaming to 1080p to Rumble Studio. Click add. Once it's added, you'll see that it then brings up the screen of it's completely blank, so it's like your default. There's nothing on it currently. I want it to match up with what I've got in existence already, so I'm going to be creating the 5 main scenes. Now, I've got 5 main scenes, and I've got lots of embedded scenes in those 5 scenes. To make life easier, I kind of like pre-create scenes for things like audio, Blerp, Social Stream Ninja, chat, all of those things, and I import those scenes into other ones, so that I've just got my main 5. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename this first one, and see, this is Rumble. This one's the Rumble title. And then copying what I've got on the left-hand side for Twitch, but instead everything's Rumble related. Rumble stream starting, and then next one is going to be Stream Live. Let's go Rumble Live in caps because it's important. I want to make sure that I'm only going onto that when I want to actually go live. Next one is going to be a Rumble intermission for when I'm leaving the keyboard and going a little bit of AFK. And the last one is going to be my outro, which is the stream ending. So Rumble -stream endings. Perfect. So we've got those in place. Now, because I use exactly the same title, stream, starting stream, my intermission, and my outros, I don't brand those. They are going to be the same irrespective of where you watch. So I can speed up the process for creating one of these overlays by importing the scene, that scene already created, into the elements. But the other thing as well that we can do is link each one of these to change depending on what scene's selected in OBS. So I'm going to click the 3 little dots. I'm going to link scene. So the title is linked to the title. The new stream starting is the stream starting. The live is connected to the live. The intermission is connected to the intermission. And lastly, the stream ending is connected to the stream ending. So when I select one, the main screen in OBS, the rest of the add-ons all sync in. Next one, I'm going to add my scenes. And like I said, because 1, 2, 4 and 5 are already created, I'm just going to import them directly as scenes. Sizing, do a bit of transformation, fit to screen, drag it into the right place, and then lock it off. Always lock off your scenes. You don't want to inadvertently change it when you are going live. Next one, so I'm going to set up my stream starting. Again, I'm just going to select the scene. It already is created. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can hear the music playing, which is a good indication that it's working. So fit to screen, I'm going to pull that across. And I'm going to lock that one off. I'm going to skip the live for the second. I'm going to go straight to the intermission. 3 little dots. Link scene again. Wrong one. Add a scene. And it will be the intermission. Again, resize, transform, fit to screen, drag it into the right place, lock it off. And finally, for the stream ending, 3 little dots, add a source, and add our end screen. Resize, drag it into place, and lock it off. So there's our first 4 scenes. So if I was to select the title in the background in OBS, you'll see it changes in OBS, and then you see that the 2 windows have also changed. Go to stream starting. They then change. Go to Prios, wrong one. Let's go to intermission, which is our AFK. They all match. They all look exactly the same. And stream ending. And they all match as well. So irrespective of what I do, provided I go to those, the rest of the screens will follow suit. Now, I'm going to go back to my Spotlight guide. And we're going to create... what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my face here. So you can see my pretty ugly face. And we're just going to collapse some of these down so we don't need to see all of the Nif Nuff trivia. The only one I want to see is the live. And I'm going to expand Twitch's live so that you can see both windows. And each one of these sources or scenes or browser sources I'm going to add into the Rumble one. In exactly the same way. Always start off at the bottom and work up because of the way things are laid out. The overlay always goes first into the scene because everything is placed on top of it. So the first thing is adding a media source, which is going to be my overlay playing in the background. This one's going to be new, and this one's going to be Rumble, and it's going to be Rumble overlay. I like to keep names consistent. And we're going to loop this. It's going to constantly loop. I'm going to use hardware decoding, and I'm going to close the file when inactive. So basically that means when I go onto a different scene, it's going to close the file. When I go back into that scene, it's going to reload the file. I don't want things playing just for the sake of it because it takes up memory, takes up resources. So only when I go onto that scene do I actually want to see it. I'm going to go to my location where those overlays are loaded. And I've got overlays for all of the various different platforms. I created all of these in Adobe Express. Takes 5 minutes to do, so highly recommend Adobe Express. This one's for Rumble, so I'm going to add my Rumble layout, and you can see very much like the Spotlight, very much like the Twitch one, but the colors match up with Rumble. Next one is going to add some inputs and some outputs, so 4K, the output, so scene. Again, most of these are already in scenes, so I just have to add them in. It's much easier to add a lot of these things into scene. It just keeps things a little bit cleaner. And it also narrows down where you have to look for things when you're adding new sources in. Add a couple more for the microphone and the audio. So next one will be game channel. Come on, grab game, and the last one is going to be my chat. And then I'm going to lock those ones off. Now these are obviously just audio channels, so there's nothing, you're not going to see anything on screen, but I am going to lock all of those off. I don't want to inadvertently change the sizes of any of those. So next one on the list is going to be games. Now games is the first scene that I'm definitely going to resize because I want to resize it to fit this box. So I'm going to go down to my game scene, which is a full-size capture of whatever game's currently playing. I'm going to transform, do exactly the same. I'm going to fit to screen, and then I'm going to start squashing this one down so it fits inside the window. Now, I've made the box in the background slightly bigger than required because I have a few additional kind of like overlays that play at the top and the bottom, things like stream avatars and a few other things. So using the keys on your keyboard, you can also perfectly position it so it looks good. And the red box is in the black. I can lock that one off now. Next one, stream avatars. We're going to use the game capture. Now, stream avatars is already being captured by the main OBS. Don't need to re-add it as a new one. So just scroll down until I find my stream avatars. Webcam. Again, is a scene because I combine both my webcam and some labels. So the stuff that you see just playing above is an overlay over the top of the webcam. So I combine those in a scene, and then I import that in. And of course, I've got to resize myself because I'm ginormous. Fit to scene. I want to squeeze it all the way down. Now this is going to go up into my top box over here. So I'm just going to rejig myself until I'm in the box and try and just line it up perfectly. So it looks good enough. Yep, perfect. I'm going to lock that one off, and now I'm in the box. Perfect. Next one is social stream. Now the first social stream link that we're going to add is a scene that has kind of like the featured chat. So in social stream Ninja is a really good application that allows you to add lots of different chat in a window, whether it's Twitter, Kick, Rumble, Facebook, you name it, long list. But it gives you the ability to add a chat window that you can highlight messages on your screen. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to resize. Let's transform and resize that one, fit to screen. And I'm going to resize that and put that in the game window because that's where I want the chat to appear. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's an overlay. You can just, as long as it's in that box, it'll be fine. Next one, social streams been added, combined chat. So this is a view of the guys talking, and I'll give you an example of this in a second, because the really good thing with Social Stream Ninja is that you can fire in test messages. So I'm just going to resize this one into here, making sure it fits nicely and snug. Looks good to me. I'm going to hide that. You can see some test messages in there currently, and I can fire in some more test messages, and this would be just the same as if your chat is currently speaking. Now you can add Social Stream Ninja into OBS as a custom doc so you can see everything that's going on. And the beauty of what I've just added for the featured chat, if I was to select the Video Ninja entry, you'll now see it comes up on the chat, just like StreamYard, just like EVMux does, allows me to feature that chat. Twitter or Twitch over on the left hand side, I've got it higher, whereas over on Rumble I've got it slightly lower. And again, lock it off once it's in the right place. Now Twitch viewers, I can get the Kick viewers. I use Botrix, I use for subs and bits and all those good things. So, but it doesn't have Rumble access. So we're not going to add Botrix, kind of pointless to add it to Rumble. After that, Blerps. Blerps definitely can be added. For those people that don't know what Blerps are, they're little sound bites that your chat can fire in and play some audio whilst you're streaming. And it's as simple as log in, set up your Blerps that you're making available for the chat to use, and add a browser source into OBS. And once you've added that browser source, there's native plugins for Twitch. There's also a universal plugin for Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and those things. So you can use Blerps. Definitely get them installed. So this one is a browser source. So I'll just add Blerps in. Now, Blerps, obviously I'll play this one because I just want to test it. And if I look at my live history over on Blerps, you get the option to replay any audio. I love you. And what you'll see is some icons coming up on the screen. So I'm just going to resize this one. And my Blerps, I'm going to put within the game window as well, just so it's nice and tidy. Don't want them splashing over the entire screen. Lock that one off. The last one after that, or the last two, is Ko-fi and banners. So Ko-fi for your tips. Again, this one's a browser source. Very easy to be added. And I'm going to put Ko-fi in approximately the same place next to my icon. using the arrow keys just to get the positions just right. Make it nice and tidy, guys. Lock that one off. And the last one is the banner. The banner is obviously on the Twitch side. What you can see running at the bottom, it's got the ticker from Social Stream Ninja. So Social Stream, you can add a load of different files and tell it which one to load, and it loads as a banner. You don't need to add any add-ons into plugins into OBS for it. So I'm just going to add the final one, which is a banner. It's already created against the normal OBS, so I haven't needed to recreate this. I just need to add it, drag it into the right position. Oh, wait to zoom very well, I don't think. Yeah, there we go. So I like to align it with the box inside first on the left-hand edge, and then using the center box, I just readjust it until it fits, and then just use your eyeballs, just make sure it's in the right place and lock it off. That is basically it. So all of my scenes have now been created, and if I bounce to title, just make sure this all works. Everything should now switch. New stream starting. Banner should be in place as well. See, banner's working. And it should all match. And then our live gaming should also match across. So I've got my live gaming. It's set up slightly differently, as well as my Rumble, my Twitch, and things like that. So, anything left to do? Not really. That's it. Job done. And yeah, in a nutshell, that's how easy it is to use the StreamElements Live plugin for multi-streaming. Set up yourself a new canvas. The only thing that you have to do after that, and I just like to close down these windows. I don't need to see all that on screen because they're all linked. I know they're working. Just come into the settings for the multi-streaming and just ensure that the right codec is selected. So on your canvas settings, select the one you've just created, Rumble. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and it will tell you what video encoding is currently selected. Make sure that's correct for the platform. So most of the platforms is going to be H.264. Twitch, for some people, can use AV1 as well as 4K, but pretty much all of the major platforms, they're all using H.264. So just select that, hit save, and that is basically it. You are ready to go. Now in this screen now, because I've got Rumble selected, because I've got Twitter and all sorts of other good stuff, I'm ready to multi-stream to multiple different locations. So thank you very much indeed. If you've got any questions, whack them into the commentary. I'm happy to take you through anything else. But yeah, that is essentially that in a nutshell. That's how we set up the screens. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I shall see you on my next stream, whatever it may be, probably this evening at 2000 GMT, 1500 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much, and bye for now.